Good morning, everybody. Uh-oh, we're going to have to use... There we go. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let me do a sound check right quick, make sure everybody's cool. Sound check, sound check. Make sure we're broadcasting. Give everybody a chance to come in. Share it with a couple of people. See how we sound. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Make sure my microphone is working. See how we sound. All right. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Make sure my microphone is working. See how we sound. All right. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Make sure my microphone is working. All right. So, all right. You guys have to pardon the technical difficulty here. I do believe that the microphone that comes with these cameras has a little bit of a hiss to it. I've noticed that on my broadcast. This is the brand new Ring mic. I purchased it yesterday, day before yesterday, when it was the first day that it was brought onto the shelf, before it actually started selling. And although it seems to be a good camera, I must admit that there is quite a bit of hissing in the microphone. So I'm going to see if I can fix that somehow. Yeah, see, I noticed the same thing on my son's broadcast. So if you don't mind, we're going to work through this. Or perhaps what I'll do is I'll get another device that I could use as a microphone. Hold on a second. So it is that mic, son. Alright, so we're going to try we're going to use the microphone that's on a separate camera. That's on this camera, but we're not going to use it as a camera. I'm not sure, but I think that sounds a little bit better. Let's do a sound check. Do a sound check one more time. See how it sounds. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. I think this sounds much better. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Or it does appear that the camera might be. Do a sound check one more time. Yeah, perfect. See how it sounds? Perfect. All right. So now we can put this close because this is our microphone. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Today is Sunday. As you can see, I've got my son, the Kai Man. I want everybody to go to his channel. I'm very proud of him. Kai Lockett here on YouTube.
513 subscribers.
He's got 513 subscribers. So I want to thank everyone for subscribing to Kai's channel. And oh, look at my video even freezing up over here. Man, these cameras are really not the best. So, as you can see, we've got the protocol for autism put up here. And we're going to be going through the biomagnetic pairs that have to do with autism. And I'm also going to give him the top 10 detox, which means the liver, the pancreas, the lungs, the bladder, the large intestine, the small intestine, well actually the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, right? And the kidneys. We're going to boost up the function of his detoxification organs. This is just a once a week boost that we do here at the BiomedRx Health Center. We have to kind of balance ourselves out as healthcare providers, as energy healers. We have to make sure that our energy is in balance. Now, have you had enough water, son?
Well, I haven't drank enough then.
Uh-oh. It is very important. It's okay. Get up, get us a couple of cups of water, okay? Pour yourself a big cup.
I poured one and I drank.
But that's not enough. It is very important. There's no rush. It is very important when you're doing biomagnetic pair therapy that you remain very hydrated. It's important for the client or the patient, I guess you could say, to be well hydrated, as well as for the practitioner, the clinician, to be well hydrated. Fill it up.
Thank you, Dad.
All right. So you just take your time. There's no rush. There's no rush to begin therapy. You take your time and you go ahead and get hydrated. Okay, get yourself some hydration and get hydration for your client. If you guys have any questions, feel free to type it into chat. I'm going to pop out my chat here and pop it into.
Okay, Dad, I filled it.
Now drink it. Take your time and drink it down, man. Good job, man. All right, so feel free to say something in the chat. Sit back down. Finish your water. All right, so here we are. As you can see, I'm going through the protocol. Cerebelo, cerebelo. See that? We've already got it. The magnets together. Cerebelo, cerebelo. So we're relaxing the cerebellum. We also have these straps, cloth straps that we use to hold the magnets on the head. McManny man.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, son. This biomagnetic pair therapy autism protocol is part of what I use in combination with neurofeedback to help my son overcome the symptoms of the autism spectrum. As you can see, colon traverse, the traverse colon to the suprapubical izquierdo. Now, when you see the magnet, you say, oh, well, that's not exactly on the location of the transverse colon, which is closer to the diaphragm, okay? Yes, but what we're trying to affect are the bundle of nerves that actually has the strongest impact on the organ, not necessarily the organ itself. So that's very important to understand, okay? Diaphragm to diaphragm. Now, as you can see on the very top of the illustration, with diaphragm to diaphragm, I'm going to take out my very powerful magnets because I know what we're trying to affect in my son's digestive system. So I'm going to take out these super strong rare earth magnets, the negative on this side and the positive on this side of the diaphragm. Right. So how you feeling, Kai Kai?
Good.
All right. After placing the magnets, I stop and periodically throughout the treatment, I stop and do a muscle test. Muscle testing, relax everything. Muscle testing is using observation of the bottoms of the feet in reaction to the placing of the magnets on the body, right, to determine if there is a presence of a virus or a pathogen like a fungus or a parasite or bacteria or any other type of pathogen. Now, the reason we're looking at the bottoms of the feet, the heart is primarily on the left side of the body. Because of this, the left hemisphere of the brain receives more circulation than the right hemisphere. Everyone is that way. So the left side of the brain is bigger than the right side of the brain. And because of this, since the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere of the brain controls the left side of the body, whenever we encounter a pathogen or something that's a little bit amiss, the body is going to respond with tension. When the body responds with tension, the tension is going to affect the right side of the body more than the left. This is the longest bone in the body, the femur. So the longest muscle bellies in the body are the muscle bellies that are here across the femur, the quadriceps and the leg biceps and the hamstrings. And when the body is reacting to having found the presence of a pathogen using the negative pole of a magnet, or simply by my speaking to his body, the body is going to respond with tension. It's going to affect the right more than the left. And so therefore the right leg is going to appear to shorten compared to the left in these scenarios, in these situations. So this is the muscle testing procedure. It can be used for diagnostic purposes in biomagnetic therapy, and it also can be used in diagnostic purposes for the emotion code and other spiritual things as well. In fact, an experienced biomagnetic therapist can actually speak to your body and get the body to respond without having to pass the magnet in a scanning fashion across the body. It gets even more complicated than that as well. It gets even more sophisticated than that as well. But we'll talk about that more and more as time goes by. So, dorsal to lumbar. You see the negative at the top between the shoulders and the bottom, and the positive on the bottom. Okay? Dorsal. It's okay. Just stay right there. To lumbar. Okay. Dorsal number 4 to lumbar number 3. I've done it so much with my son, I know exactly what's coming. Now, right beneath the first dorsal, another negative, dorsal number 5 and lumbar number 2. We're talking about vertebrae. So now we're going to go dorsal number 5 and positive on lumbar number 2. Right above where the last lumbar was placed. Right on the vertebrae. Okay? Moving along. Scapula, scapula. Scapula, right, son? Yeah. Okay. Now, often these pairs are going to go in locations that are going to make you wonder, why would they put them there? What does that have to do? What does that location have to do with the condition in question? Why are we not just putting magnets directly on the affected organ or the organ in question? There's a reason for that. There are locations in the body that we call reservoirs, right? Or reservoirs. And these reservoirs are places within which bacteria or pH imbalances tend to occur. Pockets of acidity or pockets of alkalinity. We can lower the pH of pockets of alkalinity using the positive pole of a magnet, which you see in red. We can raise the alkalinity, raise the pH of an area of the body that is acidic by using a negative magnet, okay? So by doing this simultaneously, we can depolarize the relationships between the pH imbalances that allow the pathogens to hold on to the body that allow you to be a carrier, and thus empower the body to use its own, systems of detoxification to get rid of the pathogens simultaneously. And that's the beauty of biomagnetic pair therapy, okay? So, esophagus to the duodenum. You can see on the bottom illustration, the negative goes on the esophagus. And the positive, the red, goes on the duodenum. Right here. How you feel, Kai?
Good.
You feeling ticklish?
No.
Good. That's good. Very proud of you, son. My son has over 500 YouTube subscribers. I am very proud of him. Halfway to 1,000. Okay? Sometimes you might want to take extra pins just to make sure that you stabilize the magnets that are in place so that they don't jump up onto each other and flip. As you can see, they're very powerful and they tend to love each other. And throughout the process of biomagnetic pair therapy, the potentials in your body change. Okay? So it is not uncommon during the process of biomagnetic pair therapy for the magnets to move. That is actually a common occurrence. Now, this is what we call a monopolar magnet. This is a huge magnet that only shoots, is only negative. It's negatively charged. Now, this is the coil. This part represents an inductor. The magnet is actually a ring. There's a coil inside. The coil is taking the negative pole and shooting it out, right? I can pole it with a magnet, that a polarity that I know, right? You see, that center is negative. Okay? It sucks the positive in there, right? So this negative magnet is going to be sitting right on his navel. Now, why am I putting such a powerful negative magnet by itself, not in a pair, on the navel? Well, the navel is your end of the umbilical cord. So your navel is full of stem cells, or what we call in Spanish, células madres. These stem cells are the cells that produce other cells. So these stem cells are going to be being released throughout the procedure, right? Which has nothing to do with the therapy, but it will give him a greater sense of well-being. So you want to use a very powerful negative magnet on the navel throughout the procedure to release stem cells, okay? So now, we're going to be dealing with the vagus nerve and the contralateral kidney. Now, despite what you see on that illustration, I'm going to do the vagus and the parathyroids with this, and then I'm going to put two magnets on both kidneys, on either kidney. I'm going to put both the positive and the negative magnet on either kidney. And the reason I do that is because the kidneys can always use a little charge. Remember, the pyramids inside the kidneys use cation exchange, or what we call magnetism, to get rid of the positively charged toxins in our blood and put it into our urine. I use the positive, the red, on the superior side of the kidney, on the top side of the kidney, so that I can excite the adrenal glands to slowly release adrenaline throughout the procedure, making the client feel better. And I use the negative directly on the body of the kidney itself to relax the kidney. Now, throughout the procedure, you're going to find that the kidneys are going to be releasing urine into the bladder, which is what I'm going to hit next, because now that we've done we're moving away from autism protocol and into what we call the top 10 detox pairs. All right. Let's see what else we have on autism. We only have 2 more pairs on autism. CN, right here to the temple, from temple to temple. I use these, and I use refrigerator magnets as placeholders. So the negative here, and the positive here. Okay, and the refrigerator magnets are the placeholders. The right temple to the right temple. I also have a pair that is already attached to each other, specifically for this purpose. Okay? The right temple to the right temple is very, very significant for cases of emotional disturbance, criminal behavior, addictive behaviors. Remember what I said before about the left hemisphere of the brain being more pronounced than the right hemisphere of the brain? Well, as a result of this, the right hemisphere of the brain tends to be the place where a lot of the emotional disturbance is housed. Okay? So you also want to relax the crown. Okay? And yes, I do mean the crown chakra. I'm going to put a negative magnet right here on the top, which is going to be relaxing the brainstem as well as the pineal gland, right on the crown. Right? There you go. Okay. Now that we've done the pairs for autism, okay, I'm going to move into the pairs. I'm going to continue with the top 10 detox. Pancreas. Negative on the body of the pancreas. And positive on the tail of the pancreas. Okay. Bladder. Now Kai has on a ideal set of loose-fitting t-shirts and sweats. This is exactly what you want to wear during biomagnetic pair therapy because it's easy for me to clip the magnets where they go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but I don't always use clips. Sometimes it's more appropriate to use tape. Okay? All right? Ascending colon. and the opposite polarity on the descending colon. Okay. All right. So now we're done with the autism positions protocol as well as the top 10 detox. So what I am doing for my son is improving his circulation, boosting his circulation and detoxification in general by placing the magnets in strategic locations where there is a lot of blood circulation, namely the bottoms of the feet. Okay, and the wrists. All right, how you feel, man?
Good.
You see, my son is feeling good. We've got all of the magnets in place, and it is now 1/4 everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until 1/4 after the hour, or about 20 minutes after the hour, and that's going to have the magnets on in the proper amount of time. So in the meantime, we can time the session by utilizing the Mind Alive David the Light Pro brain entrainment device, which I'm going to hook up to Kai right now.
Yes. The Mind Alive David the Light Pro is a brain entrainment device. It incorporates audio-visual brain entrainment. Through these goggles, you can see flashes of light and color that affect the different fields of vision, the left and right fields of vision differently. And through these headphones, he will hear Isochronic tones and binaural beats. These are sounds that are designed to induce various brainwave states according to the protocols that were set on. And through these ear clips, he's going to be receiving cranial electrotherapy stimulation, which is designed to stimulate the production of norepinephrine, epinephrine, and most importantly, serotonin, as well as all of the other endorphins in perfect balance. The settings on the Mind Alive David have 5 different categories: energize, brain boost, mood boost, meditate, sleep. Let's see. Energize, meditate, brain boost, sleep, and mood boost. Yes. So right now, I'm going to put him on a brain booster number 2, which is for ADD and learning. And that's also my favorite training. And as he begins the training, okay, we will put on the headphones. As well as the goggles. We will first turn up the cranial electrotherapy stimulation. At this time, he's feeling a little bit of just a little tiny tingling pulse on the earlobes. That's getting the brain flowing, getting the juices of the brain flowing. We turn up the volume. Okay. And we will turn up the intensity of the chromotherapy. Okay. And this is a perfect timer for the therapy. So now is the boring part. Now we're going to leave the magnets in place for at least 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Here at this distance from the equator, it takes that long for the magnets to take hold, for them to take effect. And then during that process, I'm sure he's going to be feeling like using the bathroom. I'm sure his bladder is going to be filling up. At the end of the session, by the time the Mind Alive David is finished its session, we will know that his biomagnetism has taken hold. And then we can move forward into the neurofeedback center, go to the neurofeedback room. Move forward into the neurofeedback center. Go to the. All right. Biomagnetic paratherapy can be used to help a number of conditions. I'm actually learning more every day about what we can actually affect. I have had the good fortune of helping to address cases of cancer. I have had the good fortune of helping to address many behavioral issues. It's a very good technique. It's a very powerful technique. I don't believe healthcare is supposed to be expensive. I believe that everything that we need to keep ourselves healthy can either be found in plants and found in the earth or found within ourselves. And especially now that we are developing technology at such a rapid pace, neurofeedback and the types of brain entrainment that you see my son undergoing right now are becoming commonplace. And we better get used to it because it's not going away. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So I want to thank you guys for joining. I don't want to just keep you hanging on. I'm going to be waiting right now for about a half hour to take Kai's magnets off. And I don't want to just sit here and talk blah, 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 and make you guys think that I'm a narcissist or something like that. But I want to thank you for joining me again. I want you guys to have a happy Sunday. I started at 9, and here it is going on 10. So I'm going to log off. Kai and I are going to get out and get some exercise. We usually have an 8-mile walk or 8-mile hike that we do once a week. Well, we used to do it every day, but it's come down to once a week, and today's Sunday, so this is our last day to do it. So, as always, we want everyone to stay kind. And why do we want them to stay kind, Kai?
Kind is the new sexy.
Because kind is the new sexy. Kind is the only sexy as far as I'm concerned. People who are unkind or unsexy. And stay blessed, especially today. Okay? Stay blessed. And stay healthy. Thank you very much for watching BiomedRx TV. Okay? And I want you to maybe take a look at Devin Lockett on YouTube later on. Today I'm going to be posting live on my 3 Devin Lockett channels. But thanks again for joining, and I will holler at you guys later.